BookTube. So today I'm coming to you with a two-part video. The first part will be me giving you guys recommendations based off of popular social media apps, so Twitter, Tumblr, those types of apps. And then the second part of this video will be me giving you guys my Indian Readathon TBR. So I'll leave timestamps in the description so you can skip to whichever part you want to see me talk about. But without further ado, let's get into the tag. So this tag is called a social media book tag. I'll leave the creators in the description if I find them. But like I said, it is based off of popular social medias. And I really like the length to which the creators took these prompts. They really match like what that site is about. And I know it took a lot of effort to think about them. So the first question is Twitter. Your favorite shortest book? If you like short books, you should definitely follow Ariel Bissett because she loves short books. She has an entire video about it. But my favorite short book of all time is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. This was the second Neil Gaiman book that I read. I've read 3 books from him. The first one was The Graveyard Book, which I absolutely loved. And then the last one was Stardust, which I read for the reading rush and absolutely despised. You can see all my full thoughts and why I hated it in my vlogs. The Graveyard Book was more like childish. It had like illustrations in it and stuff like that, but this book was definitely more like mature in a way. Neil Gaiman's writing style really shone, and it also just had like a really like whimsical, like insane style to it. Like it did not feel real at times. It felt like this weird dream that this character was having. And I think it was originally a short story that he adapted into a novel. And although at times you definitely could see that, overall, I just really loved this book. It had an amazing writing style. I loved the main character and all he like learned about himself in this book, all the amazing people he met. And I just thought it was such a fantastical like ride through the like less than 200 pages that we got. It's basically about this man who's reminiscing about when he was a boy and this weird adventure that he had happened to him, but also thinking about how strange of a past it was and all the weird things that happened to him. And it's a really fun story about remembering the past. Neil Gaiman is just a masterful storyteller, and this book was just so much fun to read. Nothing is what it seems, and that's what's really great about this book. Alright, so the next prompt is Facebook, a book everyone pressured you into reading. And Alright, so I'm going to go with the book that nobody really pressured me into reading, but I just wasn't interested in, but still picked up because it was so popular, and that is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I know, this is such a popular series, and I wish I had like the urge to continue on with it. I still might. There are a lot of things about this book that I love. It's one of Paperback Dreams' most favorite books. It's one of Books and Lala's most favorite books. Lots of people really enjoy this series. I wish I did as well. It just was not memorable to me. Like, the characters were alright, but I just wasn't interested in the plot and what was happening in this book. I was really interested to see Blue's character, like how she has been warned that her true love will die, and like how she's scared about all of this, but we never really explored her character that much. Like, I didn't feel like I knew her as a person, and mostly it was just the adventure. It was a very plot-heavy book, and while I'm mostly okay with that, it just didn't fit with this book. Like, I wanted to feel something for the characters, but I just didn't. The only one I felt anything toward was Gansey because he was just really funny at times. But there were some pretty interesting things in this book, like Noah and his past, what's going to happen in the future with Blue. But I just wasn't interested enough in this book to continue on with the series. And like the main plot line was this like old man has like this mysterious past. And that just wasn't intriguing enough of a plot line. But I might give this book a second chance. I probably will. Because I did read it for a readathon. And I feel like when I do read series books for readathons, I mostly don't come out of them with like the full feeling that I would have if I just read it normally, not trying to read as fast as possible. So I really feel like if I give this book another try, I might really like it. Alright, so the next prompt is one I like a lot, and that is Tumblr, a book you read before it was cool. Since I just started reading young adult books like this year, I did not read any books before they got cool. Like, I look at my bookshelf and most of them were like already really popular or just they were already really hyped. I guess I read The Gravity of Us like right when it came out, but like it was already going to be cool. But like I did read it right when it came out. So I'm just going to go with this book.
Alright, quick edit. So I said that I read this book right when it came out. This is what happens when you record a video at 1 o'clock at night. This book came out on February 4th, and I read it in late June.
The Gravity of Us I read for Romanceathon, which I'll leave my vlog right here. This book is about Cal Lewis, who is on his way to becoming a really famous social media journalist on BuzzFeed. He basically has this app called Social Flame, or whatever it's called, something Flame. Flash Flame. He can broadcast live to his 500 million followers, and he gives them news on like astronauts and just whatever is in the news, and he's really, really popular. But when his father is chosen for a space mission, he and his family have to move to Texas and suddenly have to become this perfect American family, and Kyle has to leave behind his dreams of becoming a social media journalist. At that place where all these astronauts are training, Cal also meets Leon, the son of another astronaut, and he immediately falls in love. There's no love triangle, and they basically become an oasis for each other in this like hard time of their lives where they're pressured to do everything right. As this mission becomes more and more popular, Cal begins to suspect something is wrong with this like media coverage around the space mission. There's this one TV show that's really covering it, and he just begins to think that something is wrong with it, and that they're not the most ethical group or social media coverage in the world. And so he starts to uncover the truth about them, but he's also wondering if sharing these truths with the world will hurt those people most close to him, especially his dad, who's worked his entire life to get to this stage. And it's basically about him falling in love with Leon, while also dealing with all of these important questions about like being an influencer and what that means, and how he should use his platform the right way, what's best for him, while he's also thinking of the society, while he's also thinking of what's right and wrong in the world. It's just a really well written story. Phil Stamper just revealed the second book today, which I'm super excited about. It looks really good. I also really like the space aspect in this book. Phil Stamper is definitely like fascinated by space, and I just really like that aspect of this story. This book was everything I wanted it to be and more, and I definitely think that you should try to pick it up. Alright, so your next prompt is Myspace. A book you don't remember whether you liked or not. What is this prompt? This prompt. What in the world is this prompt? Okay, so this is a book that I have not talked about on my channel ever, I think. And I read it such a long time ago. I got it at like this bookstore or something. I just picked it up on a whim, and I completely forget everything about this book. Remember that I had good feelings surrounding this book, and that is Under the Bottle Bridge by Jessica Lawson. Now, this book, I remember almost nothing about this book. I remember it had like good characters, and that there was a good plot surrounding the bridge and this bottle that was under it. And I remember the main protagonist thinking about like a lot of important questions about family. But other than that, I remember almost nothing about this book. Like, what even happened? I remember it being really centered around history and the history of towns and what this girl wanted to do in her life. But yeah, since that wasn't that satisfactory of an answer, I'm also going to go with Wednesdays in the Tower, because
Realizes he has absolutely no good reason.
Alright, so your next prompt is Instagram, a book that was so beautiful you just had to Instagram it. So I'm going to go with Slay by Brittney Morris. This was our next chapter book club pick of the month, so I'll leave the live show right here. It was really fun. We just talked for an hour about this book. And the first 20 minutes were non-spoiler for all those people who have not read this book yet, and hopefully that encourages you to pick this book up, then go back to watch the remainder of that live show. But this book, I remember getting it in the mail, and I was just like, this cover is absolutely stunning. Like, I love how VR is being incorporated into more and more books as technology keeps adapting, and just the way the glitchiness of like the cover shows with her against like this background that is just so pixelated. Like, I've never seen this font before, but it's just so perfect. It kind of looks like graffiti, but it fits with like the message, kind of the theme that this is trying to show. Oh yeah, I don't think you guys could see that cover the entire time. This entire cover just really encapsulates like the VR message. This cover is so stunning. And then the inside dust jacket, guys. Oh my god. It's like, oh my god, like gold foliage. It's beautiful. Our next prompt is YouTube, a book you wish would be turned into a movie. You guys are probably tired of hearing about this book on my channel, but I'm going to bring it up whenever I can. And so, A Darker Shade of Magic. Seriously, I think this book would be so good in a movie frame. I'm pretty sure it was adapted for film, but that was like 2 years ago. I don't think anything's still happening. I know there's a difference between a book being optioned for film and it actually happening, but I just hate like the suspense of like knowing your favorite book is optioned but not knowing like if there's anything going to happen. But still, I think this book would be so good in a movie frame. I think like Tom Holland could be a good Cal, and like Kristen Stewart would be like a good Lila. I have no clue. But I really would want to see like how they adapted like all this London system and how the cool CGI effects made like Cal's portal and blood magic looked. And I think it would be such a gripping movie because there are just so many amazing like plot lines in this book and plot twists, and the plot is just so thrilling. I think it would be a really good movie adaptation. It would just be suspenseful at all times. I think this is definitely one of those books that people would really like seeing as a movie because of its great characters, because of its plot, because of like the entire magical world. I think it'd be a really, really good movie. Alright, so the last question is Goodreads, a book you would recommend to everyone. A Darker Shade of Magic. Let's go with another one of my favorite books. Yes. Looking for Alaska. Do we even need to say anything? Alright guys, so that was the social media book tag. It was a lot of fun to film. If you enjoyed it, leave it a like. Well, not yet, if you're still going to go with the next portion of this video. Comment down below your answers to these tags, or if you would have changed any of these prompts. But yeah, let's get into my Indian Readathon TBR. Alright, so the Indian Readathon is going to be between August 15th and August 22nd. If you do not know, August 15th is Indian Independence Day. This Readathon was created by Nidhi Reddy Reads, and I will leave her channel in the description. But I just love this Readathon. It's going to be just a week of enjoying Indian literature. Makes me happy for apparent reasons. I promise I will vlog the entire thing. Every single time. I tried to vlog the entire week for the Romanceathon. Vlogged the 3 days, couldn't get the last 4. You Readathon. The first 3 days, didn't vlog the last 4. The reading rush, I did all 7. But I really hope that I can vlog the entire 7 days. Something just happens in the last 4 or so days. I don't know what. My TBR for this Readathon is 2 books. Both of them I am super excited about. I just saw this, like, that can speak for itself. But I'm reading When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. And this is going to be a complete romance book, which scares me. But again, like I said like a few videos ago, I don't hate romance books unless they have a love triangle, because most of them are bad, but most of them have love triangles. But based off the premise of this book, it doesn't look like it has one. But from what I can gather, Dimple is like so exasperated at her mom wanting her to find this ideal Indian husband. So when her parents sent her to this summer coding camp, she thinks like, alright, her mom, she's respected her. She wouldn't be sending her to this camp if she didn't want her to find her husband right now. And then there's Rishi. He's a hopeless romantic. So when he finds out that his parents are sending him to this camp to basically like woo his future wife Dimple, he is totally on board because he believes in tradition. He like wants to be arranged, which I think is going to be really interesting to see, because most time our main characters are like rebelling the patriarchy, or like they don't want to do like the status quo. So I'm really interested to see how that's gonna play out. The book was basically just gonna stream off from there. I really love books that are set in like boarding camps. I'm pretty sure that's what this is going to be, and I really love that like scenario. My all-time favorite book is in a boarding school, and I'm going to a boarding school, and I just really love like when main characters are living in this environment that they have never lived in before, that's completely secluded from their family. I think that's a really interesting like thing to explore. And I've heard so many amazing things about Sandhya Menon and her writing style and her characters. People say that her books are like so cute, that they're just so good. And I just cannot wait for like Indian representation in this book, because that always just makes me happy. But also like a good romance book and a good story. I cannot wait for all of it. I think it's going to be really good. I really want like a blend of love, hate, and other filters, and Looking for Alaska. Like that perfect meshing. That's what this book is set up for. And if it achieves that, oh my god, I'm going to love this book. The next book is one like I'm confused about with the premise. But first I'll say the title, and that is A Girl Like That but Chanaz Batina. And it's about 16-year-old Zarin. And she's basically that girl that parents warn their kids not to be around. Not to be around a girl like that. Porus Damaja has only ever had his eyes on her. And so then Zarin and Porus end up dead in a car accident. And like our book backtracks from there. When the religious police arrive on the scene, everything everyone thought they knew about Zarin is questioned. As her story is pieced together, told through multiple perspectives, it becomes clear that she was far more than just a girl like that. And like, I've never read a book like this where the entire book is taking place like after the main characters of this book are dead. I'm going to be like experiencing the details as they come. And I think it's going to be a little jarring to get like different perspectives piecing together her story. And I'm really interested to see like how that's gonna play out. But like the buzzwords, guys, the buzzwords. It tackles complicated issues of race, identity, class, religion, teenage ambition, angst, rebellion, alienation, with the rich and wonderful new world. They just gave me all the buzzwords and just like expected me to be basic enough to just pick this up because of that. And they succeeded. What can I say? Maximum recording time, which is fine. Alright guys, so that was both the social media book tag and my Indian Readathon TBR. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Comment down below if you're participating in the Indian Readathon, or like what I said before about the social media tag, what you would answer for those prompts. Subscribe. I post fun bookish videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I'll see you next time with another video. Bye.